Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you do not know, because I've not done a lot of updates on this, I am a new mom. I have Mr. Hunter. He's 5 weeks old. It's sad. He's actually laying here right now. Can you say hi, guys? Say hi. He's kind of sleepy. We're trying to eat a little bit before we head out. But oh, sorry, my hair got in his face. I thought I'd get on here because I was not very good about updating about my pregnancy and all of that. So I didn't update about pregnancy. I didn't do a labor and delivery vlog or anything like that. So I'm gonna do my birth story and my labor and delivery story. I hope people watch this. I know labor and delivery vlogs are more fun, but we're just gonna do this. So to get into my birth story, I have to go all the way back to October. He was born in November. So I was at school, I'm a school teacher, and I was giving the PSAT, and I was having contractions. And I was only like 34 weeks at this point. And so I made it through the day up until my prep. I have my prep, which is like my prep period to where I can get things ready and grade. I have that 8th hour, which is the last hour of the day. And my mom, who teaches with me, she teaches the same school as I do. She does co-teach, which means she's in the classroom with another teacher at that point. And so we left at the end of the day and went to the doctor because I'd messaged my doctor online and they said, come on in if they're pretty consistent. And I've been timing them and they were. So we went into the doctor, which my hospital's about 45 minutes away, called my husband, and he left work, which he works like an hour and a half away from our house. So it was over 2 hours away from the hospital. So we get there and yes, I'm having contractions. At the first point, I was not dilated at all. I was a 0. And oh my gosh, I about bawled because that cervix check about killed me. It hurt so bad. And I felt like a wimp, but you know, whatever. And so we got there. I stayed to be monitored because I was having legit contractions. And my doctor was on call that day, so she was there and she came in and checked me some more times, which wasn't as bad. I dilated to a 1 while I was there. And so we were there for a while and they'd given me some medicine to try and stop them. They gave me some pain medicine because I was hurting. And toward the end, they're like, we're just gonna keep you overnight because we don't really want him to be here because, as they describe it, wimpy white boys, little baby boys sometimes don't develop as fast as the girls, and so his lungs would have had an issue. I did get the steroid shots. I got 2 of them to try and help develop his lungs. And so we stayed overnight. I was having some intense contractions. Like I was crying. They did another cervix check. Oh my gosh, those were just the worst. And so I was still having contractions, but I got into a 1. But I wasn't really progressing and they were hoping I wouldn't progress. So they ended up sending me home the next day and told me not to go back to work. So he was born November 13th and October 15th was my last day of school. So I was off for almost a month before he was born. They said I had an irritable uterus, which means it was just gonna be contracting until I had him. I was gonna have contractions constantly, and I did. And my doctor said, you teach high school, and you don't want to be there contracting and having to deal with students. Said you'll probably be pretty mean, which I can see that. Like the way I was feeling for that whole month, I would have been hateful, like, and not meant to be, but it would have been bad because I was hurting. And it wasn't like with the irritable uterus and the prodromal labor, it wasn't constant. Sorry, I'm feeding him. He's making some funny noises. He's probably gonna need to burp soon. Yeah, we'll try burp. It wasn't constant, so I kind of had a break every once in a while. But so I stayed home and I go to the doctor. She saw me like once a week and was checking on me, trying to keep me in at least until 37 weeks, I think she said. And then she said at 37 weeks, they would do nothing to stop it. They would let me go ahead and have him, whatever. I went into the doctor I probably had about 3 or 4 times that I went back to the hospital because I thought it was time or I was sick or something. And so I got really familiar with the labor and delivery triage. I love you. And so once I got to 37 weeks or 38 weeks, yeah, I was at my 37-week appointment, and she said, I think we're gonna try and help you out soon. And then I went back the next week, and she said, I cannot believe it. And because I was in such pain and so miserable, we induced labor at 39 weeks. And she came in that morning and said, I can't believe that this little baby is gonna make us induce him after we had to try so much to stop it. I was like, yeah, I know. He's stubborn, he's like me. So, I'm gonna go to sleep. On November 13th, we went to the hospital. I had already been dilated to a 2 at that point because I went in the Monday before, which was I went in on a Wednesday. So that Monday, I was dilated to a 2 at her office visit. And I went in on the 13th at 6:30. I got there before 6:30 because that's just me. I'm early to everything. And they got me hooked up to Pitocin right away and got my IVs and all that. I wasn't group B strep positive, so I didn't have to have my antibiotics or anything. But let's see. So I was just there. We had a lot of people there too. So 6:30. I can't remember the exact times, but I progressed really fast. I know around probably 10, maybe 10. I don't even think it was 10. I don't know. But I was already at like a 4 to 5, I think. And they kept asking me, when do you want to get your epidural? I was like, I don't know. And because I felt like a wimp. Like I didn't want to be wimpy and get it too early. And remember, like, well, you weren't even really hurting at that point. So, which I loved my nurse. She came in and said, what don't you know? What are your concerns? What are your questions? Which, guys, my hospital is amazing. And so I told her, I said, well, I just don't want to seem like a wimp, and I don't want it to be too soon, and I've heard that it can wear off. She said, okay, they don't wear off anymore. You'll have it consistently until you give birth. And she said, it's not too soon. Are you hurting? And I said, yes, because I was having some pretty good pains at that point. And she said, okay, if you want it, go ahead and get it. She said, we have a procedure at like, I think it was, okay, so it wasn't 10, it was like 9. She said, we have a procedure at like 9:30 that the anesthesiologist is gonna have to be in, so if you want it, go ahead and get it. So it's like, okay, I want it. So he came in, the procedure got moved back. So I was like, okay, cool. I was so scared. I was so scared of getting the epidural. Guys, it wasn't barely anything. Like, it didn't feel the best, like it wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't as bad as people make out to be, which this guy was amazing. And my nurse stood in front of me and kind of held my shoulders to kind of keep me relaxed, because my husband, who is so interested in all this stuff, he stood at the side and was watching him do it, which I think is cool. That I know a lot of hospitals won't even let the husband be in the room, so I think it's kind of cool that they let him watch. And he thought it was cool. He's like, oh my gosh, this needle's so huge. I said, I don't need to hear that right now, just wait until after. But once I got the epidural, oh my gosh, it felt so good. I was calm and chill. And every time they came in to check me, I had progressed another 2 centimeters or so. And by like 3:30, I was at a 10. I was ready to push. And guys, by the time the doctor got in there, I mean, I did 3 practice pushes before the doctor got in there. By the time she got in there, we got everything ready. It took me 20 to 25 minutes to push this little dude out. My sister was so mad. She looked at me and said, it took me 3 hours with my first, because she was in the room with me, because I was with her when she had my niece. And so by 4:15, this little man arrived. Jake watched it all. I even watched until the doctor got in there. Like when I was doing my pushes before she got in there to catch him, I had the mirror. I was watching, and it really helped. And apparently I was good at pushing. I don't know. But Jake watched it all, and he cut the cord once he came out. I mean, he didn't really scream that bad when he came out. They laid him on my chest. I mean, he was alert from the moment he came out. His eyes were wide open. Jake cut the cord. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, you know, you get a catheter when you get the epidural. He watched that. He thought that was the coolest thing. But we had a student at the hospital, and they asked, can he do your catheter? And I was like, I don't care. And they said he was so nervous to do it, but that's fine. But anyway, So Jake watched it and watched him sew me up because I did tear. I had a 2nd-degree tear. But yeah, he was born and I bawled. I cried. He was perfect. He was 7 pounds, 6.5 ounces, 20 inches long, which by the time we went to the doctor the second day, he had already lost 1/4 of an inch because they said his cone head made him 20, but I'm still saying it's 20. He did have some trouble. One thing, you know, they took him, gave him his shots, gave him all this stuff. One thing he was struggling with was keeping his temperature up. I mean, it wasn't low. It was like 97.2, 97.3, but it was low for a newborn. And so they wanted to check that, and he also had a little bit of jaundice, so they didn't know if we were going to get to go home that next day. We were sitting there, it was like 5 o'clock in the evening, which is pitch black right now, you know. And they're like, we don't know if they'll let you go home with his levels. We're going to do another test. They did a serum test instead of whatever test they do, and they said it's just good enough to go home. So we finally got to take him home that night. I mean, it was pitch black, and they gave me some pain medicine because, you know, I tore and I was really sore. I had stitches, all that kind of stuff. And so we went to Walmart with a brand new baby, and I went to go pick up my medicine. Walmart has this policy to where if it's over a certain dosage of a narcotic or an opioid, they won't fill the prescription, which is great. So I was like freaking out. I was hurting. I wasn't feeling good. And the pharmacist at Walmart said, Walgreens doesn't have this. We're the only ones that have this policy. If you go to Walgreens, they'll fill it for you. So we went to Walgreens. We got him home, and it's just been amazing since. And I've always known I wanted to be a mama, but now that I am a mama, I'm so happy. But that's my birth story. It wasn't crazy. There wasn't a lot of insane things that happened. He came out easy. I mean, I did tear, but I didn't feel it, and he came out fast. Like, it wasn't like I was pushing for 3 hours. So we're happy with this little guy who's snoozing right now. Can you say hi, everybody? Say my name's Hunter. Oh, I can't wait to do his 1-month update for y'all because he's just getting such a little personality, and I love it. But I will talk to y'all later. I'm gonna go put him in the car seat, and we are going to head to the school. If you like mommy videos and teaching videos and lifestyle videos, those kinds of things, please hit subscribe. Like this video, comment down below. I really want to get to know all of y'all. So if you have a little baby around the same age as him, let me know. It'd be great to kind of follow each other and see our journeys. So I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.